れじゃ一緒に踊りましょう。
누구도 막지 못해
登るわ。それじゃ一緒に踊りましょう。
누구도 막지 못해
浮き上がりますよ。 こんなんじゃ物足りないよ。それじゃ一緒に踊りましょう。私
何よりです。また来てくだされ。
그럼 네 실력 유감없.
それじゃ一緒に踊りましょう。
우리에겐 보입니다. 더러운 속에서 눈을
武道会の始まりよ。
Yes, I have, just not really on the channel. That game came out around the time I started my channel, so I didn't really play it on here. I hear there's like a what you call it, like a PS2 emulator code you can use to make it run at 60 FPS. I should look into that when I have more time. Like right now, I don't really have the time because Warriors Orochi 4 is right around the corner. Maybe even in a few days. So we'll have to wait until things calm down a little bit. I want to look into that though. I hear it doesn't work completely properly, but that game definitely needs a remaster before I'd really play it again. they would feel a lot better at 60 FPS. I don't know why they haven't. They're just like sitting on free money. A lot of those old like Japanese games though, like the game logic is tied to the frame rate, so they didn't really think about the future when they made those games. It's like really hard for them to uncap it. It's like if they release it again and it's like 30 FPS, then people understandably complain because that's the way that game should have been in the first place. So that's probably what's happened with God Hand. It's like they don't know how to make it run at 60 FPS without breaking something. I know God Eater on Steam has a lot of problems because they uncapped the frame rate and the game wasn't designed for it. And they never even bothered to fix it, which is really shady. Have I played Wonderful 101? Yes, I really couldn't get into it. I hated the controls and how hard it was to see the character. I only played it for like an hour. I'm sure that will get remastered too. Well, if they remaster it, they would basically have to remove the touch control, so it probably would be a lot easier for people to play. I just couldn't get into that game at all. I only played it for an hour. I never had a Wii U. I had a local gaming cafe that had a Wii U, and I played it there like once or twice, and I really didn't care for it. That game's kind of like an acquired taste. I would like to give it another chance, but I know that they're going to put it on the Switch probably pretty soon. They're running out of things to remaster at this point. I don't really care for the Ninja Gaiden games because I just don't like the way that they're designed. Where it's just there's barely any moves that you can actually use. It's always just the same couple over and over. I strongly dislike how those games are designed. I did play through Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360. I pretty much hated it. The only weapon I really liked was the Tonfas because it had the whatever it was called, the Heavenly Justice Cancel. I don't like games where they give you a bunch of moves and then like only 3 of them are actually useful. That just feels like such a waste of time. I spent like the whole game just spamming Flying Swallow because nothing else was worth doing. I really think that's well designed in my opinion. To give the player like massive movesets and then have like 3 of those moves actually be something practical to use. That's just me though. I know people love Ninja Gaiden. I'm just really not one of those people. If they ever make a new one, I hope they actually make like the other moves actually usable, because they're not. How are you gonna do those crazy long like ground strings when you're constantly being bombarded by off-screen incendiary shurikens all the time? You can't. Like, that's the problem. What's the point of unlocking and using all that stuff if it's just gonna get you killed? I don't even really see people argue about it anymore. I think people have actually accepted that that's true. I mean, DMC and Ninja Gaiden communities used to be at war about which one was better. You can't cancel out of anything in those games either. That's the other problem. If you could actually cancel into the dash, then maybe that would make some of the other moves more useful, but that you can't, so you're kind of just at mercy of the game at that point. I personally just like games where I can actually use like at least most of what's at my disposal and not be like, you know, punished for it. I would rather have a smaller moveset where like most if not all of the moves can actually be used than have a giant one and only be able to use 3, and that's pretty much what modern Ninja Gaiden is. That series is pretty much dead anyway, because Itagaki left and they haven't bothered to find somebody else who can make them. Even though whoever else they found would probably do a better job. The game would be better balanced. For whatever reason, they just haven't wanted to make a new Ninja Gaiden. The 3rd one pretty much killed the series, and they tried to fix it with Razor's Edge, but it was too late. Like Dynasty Warriors, for instance, you know, like, movesets in those games are pretty small in comparison to like a character action game, but most of it is actually usable. So I don't really consider it to be an issue. In Ninja Gaiden, it's like, you know, you unlock all this stuff and it's just most of it you can't use because the game, the way the game and the enemies are designed, it doesn't really let you. I just think that's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. I understand they want, you know, the game to be like aggressive and to not slow down and stuff, but like the player character needs to actually have the tools to deal with that, and you don't really. You pretty much just keep using Flying Swallow because that's the only thing that works, and that's just boring. It's good to have a powerful move. It is satisfying to use, but when you have to use it endlessly, like, it kind of gets old. Yeah, I have Guardian Heroes on 360. I'm probably going to look into starting that up again. That was going to be one of my projects, and then I just got busy with all this other stuff. Also, the stick that I have, you have to map every single button on that game. You can't, like, omit a button when you're remapping, so I think that's why I stopped playing it, is I couldn't find a way to get it working. I'll have to try again, though. I want to play that game again. Yeah, I rented Final Fight 3 SNES. That's the best beat 'em up on the console, on the SNES, pretty much. It's either that or Ninja Warriors. And Ninja Warriors is more of a, I don't know, it's kind of a beat 'em up. Not the same kind of beat 'em up though. Those are like the two best ones. I can't wait for the remake. I'm definitely gonna get that day one. The Scott Pilgrim game was alright. The best thing about it was the pixel art and the music. The actual game itself was not that great. It was more than playable, but it really wasn't much of a beat 'em up. The combo system was like non-existent. I personally didn't mind having to grind for the moves, but it just felt like even when you did, the game wasn't that satisfying to play. I got the platinum on that game, and I never played it again. A lot of people hated the grinding. I personally didn't mind the grinding. It's just that the combat wasn't great. It was like they put all their money into like just making it look nice, but it wasn't that satisfying to play. It definitely looked great though. I bought the soundtrack on Amazon like back when that game came out. The music's great. It's just parts of the game that aren't the graphics and the music kind of lacking. Also, they put out like the multiplayer patch, and then they delisted the game like 3 months later. I think that's incredibly shady. Like, why did they even bother to come back to the game like 2 years later and put in online multiplayer just to delist it? They had to have known that was going to happen. You had like very little time to actually play that game online. They should have just done that from the first place, but I know they were under a deadline because of the movie coming out. Double Dragon Neon was pretty much the same thing. You know, the music was great. I liked the humor in the game, but the gameplay just felt really clunky. I think I played through it like twice, and I never really went back to it again. Definitely one of the best beat 'em up soundtracks in like the modern era, but the gameplay, like, eh. I thought the characters and stuff were hilarious. I liked all the references and stuff, but the game, yeah. I bought it on Steam just for the soundtrack. Ugh. The first one was really rough, but as someone who doesn't really watch anime and hasn't watched a single episode of One Piece, it actually did a pretty decent job of explaining, you know, who the characters were and at least a little bit of the plot. I still didn't make me want to watch like a 700 episode anime, but I think it did that pretty well. The second one I didn't really play, and then the third one, I hated the RNG grind to get your full moveset. I thought that was really stupid. I think I only level broke like 1 or 2 characters, and I just got burnt out. I mean, it was cool how you had like something actually material to unlock that far into the game, but it should not have been RNG. They should have just had like missions or something that you could finish and unlock them that way. That would have felt better. But the gameplay was great. I was thinking of buying that game again on the Switch, but it's never on sale. Ken's Rage 1 was great. I really liked the combo system and stuff. It was kind of cool how it was like kind of slow, but if you played it well, you could actually make it fast. And then they dumbed all that down in the second one. The second one was made by like a different developer or something. They didn't know what they were doing. Yeah, the second one just kind of came and went. There was quite a bit of excitement for the first one. I just think that most people that were excited didn't actually play it. Alright, all done with mission level 2. Nice. Now I think I can do the raids. Yeah, I can. Sweet. I think that's pretty much all I can accomplish on here today. Let's see how the materials are looking. That's kind of a dumb comparison. I'm not really sure what you're asking. They're sequels. But the third game had better level design with less gimmicks. The fourth game went all in on stupid gimmicks which just get in the way of the awesome combat. I hope with the fifth one they'll find a better balance and not have so many gimmicks, because they're fun the first couple times, and then after that you just want like uninterrupted combat, and they've really dropped the ball on that the past couple Basar games. Yuki Muradin had the Bloody Palace, but it had no tag mode, so it felt like you're playing like half of a game. That's really all that game's good for, is a Bloody Palace, but it's still like not ideal to play it. The tagging is a lot of what makes that game fun, and it doesn't have that, so kind of like you feel like you're held back. We've been asking for a Bloody Palace type thing for years, and they finally give it to us, and they give it to us like half finished in a game that had like 8 hours of content. Alright, let me see exactly how much shit I need to finish this. I don't think I can actually get the other set today. Kingdom Hearts combat? I don't really care for it. I don't like Kingdom Hearts in the first place. And people are going crazy for it. I just don't have any interest. Probably runs like shit on the base PS4 too, just like Orochi does. I don't even think the writers who write the plot even know what's going on. The game is probably going to end with like 1,000 more questions than what are answered. Alright, I think I might be done on here for today. Yeah, I need a bunch of these, and these are a real bitch to get right now. Yeah, I'm probably going to need another couple days to do this, unfortunately. Oh, I can try to transcend my my shield. Alright, I'll try that. I think they just get drunk. They just get like really drunk, and then they just write a bunch of random stuff in Notepad, and that's like how they make the plot in those games. Ah, come on, man. Failed again? Can't even get this thing to tier 1. Beautiful Joe 1 was an amazing game, and then the second one just kind of killed it with all the stupid gimmicks. I played the first one like endlessly. The second one I only finished once. Sylvia was pretty much useless as a playable character. She was only there to solve the puzzles. Which was the same problem Portrait of Ruin had. That game was like, it's the exact same thing. They give you 2 characters to work with, and only one of them is useful, like 90% of the time. Alright, I'll try this one more time. Good old White Box Coon came back. He's probably gonna crash soon. I love it when it does that. Watch, if I do like another map right now, it's gonna lag out. So much shit to remember in this game. I have to keep going back and forth. Alright, I'm gonna go beat up Mephisto. Streets of Rage 2 is it's a good game. It's just slow. The third one is just too long and the music isn't as good. And I'm really excited for 4 because I know some of the people that are working on it. Hopefully I get the beta test 4. I mean, I probably will because I beta tested Streets of Fury EX, but probably a lot harder for them to do stuff like that now that they're technically not indie. Streets of Rage 4 is kind of indie. I hear that Sega's like not paying for it or anything. They just license out the IP. So, we'll see. If I did end up beta testing it, I wouldn't be able to say it until after it was done anyway. About another project I've been working on behind the scenes, and I'm not going to be able to actually say anything until later. Pretty soon, be able to talk about that. I think it's just they realize they don't need to spend a lot of money to make those retro-styled games. They cost a fraction of something like what, you know, like a big Sonic game or like Shenmue or something would require. And now there are enough development tools and like skilled developers who grew up with those games that can actually make them, so it's in their best interest to actually just license them out. Give people what they want, and who will probably do a better job than what Sega could do currently. Yeah, there's not really many beat-em-ups on the Saturn. There's pretty much Guardian Heroes, and that's it. There's no real reason to play the Saturn version when the 360 version exists. It's also backwards compatible on the Xbox One, so if you have one of those, you can get it. It's only $10. I think that's pretty much the best beat 'em up on the 360.
踊りましょう
The frame rate's better too. They also have the remix mode where you can like kind of plays like an anime fighter. But they also have the original mode if you want to play that one too. So it's like the best of both worlds.
こんなんじゃ物足りないわ
How many of these things has it given me? Man, I have to grind so much to get more of these. I have 61. Urban Rain, I rented that game from Gamefly. I only finished it once. They have a copy at my local game store. I'm thinking once I'm done with all these current projects, I might go ahead and buy it from there and dump the copy and play it on an emulator. That might be fun. I don't remember much about it. I remember beating it once, and that was it. And it's underrated because it came out at the end of the lifespan and they didn't really advertise it. Ah, here we go. Perfect. They're already gone. Within the 2 seconds it took me to buy these, they were already gone. That's how high demand these are right now. Holy crap, man. I didn't even get a chance to click through it. I really need those. I probably could have finished this today if those hadn't sold out. That sucks.
싸울 준비는 됐어? 그럼 수고해. 私のダンスを見たくなったのかしら。
AVP 1994 is a great game until you get to the second half and you fight all the humanoid enemies. And then the game just becomes like a janitor simulator. You have to pick up so much shit off the ground. I think that game would have been better if they didn't have that. We just fought aliens the whole time, or the military guys didn't drop so much shit on the ground. If they ever, like, brought that game back, I would hope that they would make it so that they don't drop so much. Or the easiest way they could fix that was to just make it so that you could map another button to actually pick something up instead of having it being shared with overlap with the attack button, because that's the problem. You can't melee attack anything towards the end because there's so much fucking guns on the ground. That's a problem in a lot of beat 'em ups. It's just like amplified there because there's so much more crap on the ground you can't get rid of. Let me see if anyone's doing raid. It's my last run for today. I'm actually going to take a break for lunch very shortly, and then I'll come back. I'll probably do some Warriors Orochi 4. Yeah, but Guardians has that combo system, and then it gives you bosses you can't fucking use it on, which is stupid. I like that game, but you can only combo the first boss. I think it's like the first or the second boss, that's it. And all the other ones have permanent hyper armor. That's just shitty design. Why would you bother making a combo system like that and then not let the player use it? Ah, fuck, I didn't proc airstrike. I haven't really played Armored Warriors. My local arcade had it. I have the beat 'em up bundle, so I should probably try it out. I've been playing the other games on that collection. The problem with that collection is the fucked up netcode when you play with more than 2 people. Alright, how many of the crystals do I have now? I need 160, and I have 137 right now. So if I can do Yod today, then I can easily get it tomorrow.
じゃ一緒に踊りましょう。
Battle Circuit is fun. I've been playing that a lot on the bundle on the Switch, but I don't like how heavily scripted the bosses are. Alright, I think I've had enough of the grind for now. I'll probably come back and do some more with Jay. I can't finish today anyway, unless I get more of those sticky residue things. I'll check one more time, maybe I can snipe some off the auction house and be done with that part at least. I need like 26 more of the dimensional crystals, and I can't get those today. Yeah, there's none. Game's gonna crash soon anyway. It's starting to act up. Wonder if there's any strong Jays in town right now. Jay's the next character I'll be working on, but he desperately needs his revamp, and it's just so hard to focus on more than one character right now due to the low supply of all the crafting items. Nobody likes Jay because he's not a screaming lolly. Yeah, see, here's White Box Coon telling me to go take a break. Well, he's got the Halphus set. He's got Tier 2, one of the boosters, so he's still got a ways to go. Not bad. It's better than my Jay. Let me check how much money I have really quick. I have just barely enough money to finish this today if I could. It'll take a while. Hopefully my shit sells later. Anyway, I'm gonna go, I have some pizza in the fridge. I'm gonna go make that, and then I need to go to the grocery store and get some more bottled water and fruit and stuff. And I'll come back, I'm gonna play a little bit more of Warriors Orochi 4. I want to try to get a weapon at agility plus 10 and see how the attack speed differs. That probably would make that game a lot more fun to play, but that's pretty much all I'm going to do in that demo. So, I will be back, I don't know, maybe like an hour or two. Depends on if there's any interesting streams on. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be back in a little bit. Peace.